I'm gonna release some videos here eventually, of us, or not of us. Us is me, myself, and my computer, um, doing coding on the EcoDiesel. Now, once we get all of the EcoDiesel coding completed, we're gonna start moving on to other vehicles that are kind of popular that we work on, and do the coding for them as well. Um, it is 4:30 in the afternoon here in Texas. I have been awake since 4 a.m. yesterday in Texas, so I pretty much have been doing computer stuff nonstop. The average file, just to move the maps around for the EcoDiesels into the right spot, takes anywhere from typically I got it down to about 3 hours right now. And that's not even guaranteeing, honestly, that they're 100% correct. The only maps that I ever have issues with are the switches for the check engine light and the check engine lights themselves. So those I have to play around with a little bit to get where they need to be. I'm in the Wendy's drive-thru right now. I'm gonna be getting some food here. I had a Twix. I think that's it. I had some wings yesterday, and I think I had a chicken quesadilla at some point. But anyway, the whole point I'm getting at is that the coding does take an absolute long time. So, when you see other companies make it seem like it's super fast, it's because they've already paid someone to do the coding, or they just have done it already. So I'm gonna quit my day job this week in order to increase the amount of time that I have to do computer coding. I give it another 2 or 3 weeks, and by then I should have almost all of the 14 to 18 EcoDiesel engine and transmission coding done. And then at that point, it really is copy and paste, and then just make modifications as someone needs to the file. Turn the fans on sooner, whatever else. I'll make a video on my computer here at some point, kind of showing what we go through. So, on your handheld, there'll be a calibration ID number for your computer. It'll be like, mine is 6820228AP or whatever. So that's one calibration ID. Now, my computer is a W299 is the software. So the W299 is what's important, but I map them based on the calibration ID. That way, I don't have to change the calibration ID. I don't have to look for the map. So I have one for each calibration ID, and I think I have like 9 or 10 calibration IDs fully mapped out right now that are completely functioning and no issues with them. So the oh shit. You have to excuse me for a second. They're probably gonna hand me my food. So the hold on. Put my glasses on here.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's my fault.
If you tell us a drink, that's
Coke and then a strawberry lemonade.
strawberry lemonade. Okay, there's that for you. Let me get.
Thank you. Okay, I forgot what I was saying. Shit. Either way, I'm gonna spend, 60, 80 hours a week coding on these until they're complete. And the thing is I don't ever leave well enough alone.
Here's the code.
Thank you.
And spicy's gonna have 2.5 minutes, so if you pull up, I'll bring it out, okay?
Sure, no
Thank
problem.
you.
So I can never leave well enough alone. So like you got companies like MR and Sofa King and stuff like that that'll make a tune, perfect it, or what they call perfected, and they'll put the tune out, and then that's it. So everyone that runs that company, they get the same cookie cutter tune, whether it's 2014 or 2019 or whether it's the year 2030. It's just going to be the same tune over and over again. Maybe some small updates when certain codes and things like that keep popping up. So I'm not like that. I get bored, or a light bulb turns on and says, hey, what if we do this? Hey, you know what? Let's look into this. Hey, let's try this. So my coding ends up being a lot more intricate than other companies' coding will end up being, because I want to make sure my stuff is perfect, and at the same time, I also want to do unique things and cool things and things, you know, whatever. So there's a lot of things that I'm looking into as well that we want to get done. And I know it's not a big deal for most of you guys, but whenever we get our switch on the fly tuning finished, which is using the brake and the gas pedal, if my engineer ever gets that chunk done, which hopefully soon gets that done. I've been waiting for absolutely ever to get this taken care of. So we're gonna have switch on the fly, and then we're also gonna release a knob. The switch on the fly is going to be designed to switch to different maps, or what other companies might call multi-map tuning. But instead of having like 4 or 5 different boost maps that it goes to, we're gonna try and do like a tow map, a smoke map, a fuel economy map, and then a full-out race map. Instead of just turning the boost up and down, and it's not really enough. I am so out of it, and I keep losing myself on whatever the hell I was talking about. Shit. Either way, you know, the development is kind of a big deal for us, or for me, and I want to keep developing new things. Oh, I remember. Once the switch on the fly is done, we're going to look at modifying the depth gauge. And once the depth gauge is done, we are going to look into modifying or adding launch control. Now, obviously, it's not a big deal for a lot of people on here. I don't think there's a lot of us doing boost launches in our trucks and things like that. But we want to do some unique stuff. You know what I mean? You know, when someone asks, hey, why is this better? Why is that better? Whatever, you can be like, well, shit, man. Like, my tune came with launch control. It came with this. It came with this. It came with that. Just one of those add-ons that just makes things, you know, it gives you value to it, rather than charging you more for it. The switch on the fly, unfortunately, is going to be a little on the pricey side when we do release it, just because of all the R&D that we put into it, and I paid a lot of money to have a software engineer design it for me. He's actually the same engineer that designed the multi-map for MR tuning. So we're pretty privy on what exactly is all involved in that. But the thing is that so when our switch on the fly is done, it'll be an added cost for it. And there's a few other things that when we add, it's going to be an added cost. There's a lot of added value things that we want to do as well. One of the things that I do want to do is I want to do something similar to what GDE did, and that is add a real oil sensor, so that the oil pressure gauge is reading correct, and a few other things like that. Just something that's a small add-on that just makes the truck so much better, so much easier for people to own.
Yeah, sorry about the wait, but they're hot and fresh for y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Shit, I'm freaking tired. So with that being said, those of you who are waiting on more files from me, things like that, when I go home here in a minute, I have to send Brady a new file, because I somehow sent him Cody's file. And then as for Logan, I need to go over Logan and it's not James, it's the other J. Logan and the guy with the other name, the other J name, whatever. I'm gonna try and hopefully stay awake long enough to update those files and send them out. And then I'm gonna crash out. And tomorrow, I think I'm going to grab my trailer and start my move, which I haven't announced yet that I'm moving to a different state. But tomorrow I'm gonna grab my trailer, I think, and begin the move. And I'm going to hope to hook up with a couple machine shops where I'm going to finalize the turbo and a few other things. I'd like to take a trip. I got to talk to Josh about it, but once I get to where I'm going, I'd like to take a trip over to CFT and check out Josh's shop there. Maybe I'll put together a YouTube video on his shop and his EcoDiesel stuff, and see how long it's gonna take before he's done with the 4-inch downpipe that he's gonna build for me, and things like that. So now that I'm gonna be quitting my day job, you can kind of expect a lot more stuff like that from me, or I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to, and it's gonna be difficult in the summer because I have my kids in the summer, so a lot of that stuff isn't going to happen. But the rest of the year, you can expect it. You can expect me going to races and drag strips and car shows and meets and things like that, to try and expand the business and get other vehicles on board. Like I said, the goal for this truck is to hit 700 wheel horse, and obviously if we can do that in an EcoDiesel like that by itself is gonna sell a lot of products for us. So I think I had to double check with my investor. I have an investor in a parts company to hopefully increase our parts division, things like that. So we'll see. I kind of rambled on a little bit for this video. I can tell because everybody bailed. But needless to say, things are getting done and they are moving forward. It is just me. But once I move, I may be able to shift some of the workload to a friend of mine, or maybe hire somebody to help take care of shipping or something like that, to really help get things sped up for everyone. So thanks everyone for being patient with me in this time as we are moving and doing a bunch of other things all at the same time. So it's been difficult. So like I said, I'd just like to say thanks to everybody for that.